The trade deadline is about to be over. 6 p.m. is getting closer than ever. 6 p.m. Eastern time, that is. And so far, today has been a phenomenal day. I mean, an absolute phenomenal day in terms of trades that have been happening. A lot have happened today. A lot more are still going to happen, I believe, in this next hour and 57 minutes. And wow, I tell you, I'm going to start off this live with the trades, all of the trades that have happened. And then I'm going to take some time to react to the huge acquisitions. I'm going to talk a little Yankees because Yankee fans are very upset right now, at least up to now, unless they can get creative. Yankees are upset. The Red Sox, I mean, they just swept the Dodgers and they could have fell into that trap of, we're good. We don't need to do anything else. But I tell you, they did not fall into that trap. The Red Sox, they stood hungry and they kept making moves. So the Mets as well. The Mets sold a little more today. So look, we are going to start off with the trades that have been made today, August 3rd, the day of the deadline where we found most of the trades. So look, I'll start off with this. Dodgers get catcher Ben Rortvedt. It was a trade with the Mets, and the Mets get right-handed pitcher Chase McDermott. Not something that is a massive trade, even though the Mets made a lot of trades today, but it's a trade that, it matters. All of these trades matter. Some of them are just to free up money. Some of them are to help the roster immediately. So that's the first trade. Now, the Braves get left-handed pitcher from the Angels, and in exchange for infielder Nacho Alvarez Jr. That was another trade that happened today. The Blue Jays make another trade. Infielder Josh Smith and right-handed pitcher Josh Stephan are coming to the Blue Jays. The Rangers are getting left-handed pitcher Adam Mako. Now, my New York Mets made a lot of trades today. This is another one of the trades that they made. The New York Mets make a trade with the division rival, the Philadelphia Phillies. The New York Mets trade left-handed relief pitcher Brooks Raley to the Phillies, and the Mets get two prospects, right-handed pitcher Luke Gabrish and outfielder John Spikerman. White Sox, they get outfielder Brenton Doyle, and they make this trade with the Rockies. The Rockies get right-handed pitcher Mason Adams and shortstop Carlos Vielma. Now let's get, and look, I'm giving you all the trades that have happened in a few, and look, I am planning to be here live throughout this next hour and 53 minutes, and even going past. I plan to be here at least for the next 2 hours and a half or so to break down, to talk about it, to get the comment section going, people being able to leave their comments, and go from there. We already got some comments there about the Yankees, and yeah, the Yankees. How do you let Rutschman go to the Red Sox? The Yankees, arguably their biggest need. But we're going to get to that. All right, so the White Sox get outfielder Brenton Doyle from the Rockies for Mason Adams and shortstop Carlos Vielma. Dodgers made another trade. The Dodgers get left-handed pitcher Chris Bubik from the Royals, and the Royals get right-handed pitcher Carlos Duran. Now, I'm going to speak about a few. We still got a lot more trades to talk about that have happened today. We still got more. And look, some teams have significantly gotten things that they need, and so far some teams haven't. So I'm telling you. All right, so the Dodgers Okay, we said that one. The Mets. The Mets again. The Mets made 4 or 5 trades already today. The Mets make a big trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates pick up right-handed pitcher Luke Weaver, arguably the Mets' best bullpen pitcher this year. He is going to the Pittsburgh Pirates for a prospect. A prospect from, if I'm not mistaken, Cortland, New York. Sammy, me and him have the same name. Sammy Stafura going to the Mets prospect for the Mets. Now, this is another trade that Yankee fans are disappointed at. And look, if the Yankees don't do something in this next hour and 51 minutes, I'm telling you, fans are going to be pissed. It doesn't mean the Yankees won't be good or have a chance. It's just they're going to be pissed. I'm telling you. I am telling you, they are going to be, very, very upset. So, look, the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, another team in the Yankees division, they get catcher and first baseman Liam Hicks. The Marlins are getting infielder Braden Taylor, Jacob Kissling, and Adrian Santana. The Yankees could have used a player like Liam Hicks because the Yankees need a catcher. Liam Hicks is off the board. He's with the Rays, a team in the division. Now, the Mariners, they get outfielder Taylor Ward from the Orioles for 3 players, Alex Hope, Harrison Kraling, and Brock Moore. Now, this is a pretty big trade for the Padres. It's something that's going to definitely help them. The Padres get left-handed pitcher Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray goes to the Padres. And the Giants, they get right-handed pitcher Miguel Mendez and infielder Joniel Hernandez. Now, this is another big trade. The Angels were sellers. The Angels trade outfielder Joe Adell. Joe Adell goes to the Guardians. And the Angels get catcher Jacob Cozart. Now, how about the Toronto Blue Jays making a splash for their pitching? And, maybe this could definitely help them. The Blue Jays get from the Angels Jose Soriano. And the Angels get Arjun Nimala, Eddie Micheletti, and Angel Rivero. So those two for the Blue Jays, that's a huge one. Now, we got 2 more trades to announce, and I believe more breaking news is going to be coming out. We got the notifications ready so that if any other breaking news comes, we're able to talk about it. But, all right, look, the Phillies, we mentioned that the Phillies earlier got Brooks Raley from the Mets, but the Phillies also got, look, they got something that they needed. They got somebody that could put the ball in play and that right now is hitting 320. The Phillies get infielder Luis Arraez and right-handed pitcher Caleb Killian. From the Giants get back Ramon Marquez and Marty Gayer. It's a big trade for the Phillies right there. Really, really big trade for the Phillies right there. I mean, a really big trade there because, again, and I'm gonna break these trades down. I wanna go, especially to the the details of it. But it's a pretty good trade for them because Luis Arraez, he is hitting well. Luis Arraez, the Phillies between Harper, between Kyle Schwarber, we see players like that in the playoffs. They strike out a lot. Luis Arraez is, I'm not saying he's going to change the others, but Luis Arraez is somebody that just puts the ball in play. And he's going pretty much from last place to second place in a wild card position. So now this is the big trade. The Boston Red Sox, they get 2 catchers. The Boston Red Sox, the Red Sox get catcher Adley Rutschman and also catcher Jake Rogers and cash from the Orioles, where I'm surprised the Orioles made this trade. In return, the Orioles get Anthony A. Janssen, right-handed pitcher. They also get Kyson Witherspoon, also a right-handed pitcher. They get an outfielder, Andy Azokar, and they also get Catcher Carlos Narvaez, also a player to be named later. So, look, I'm going to take a moment and look at some comments, and then I'm going to dive into really giving my reactions to, at least I want to focus on 4 teams so far. The Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the 4th team I just mentioned there was the Phillies. There we go. All right, look, let me check some comments real fast. So, Yankees didn't get anyone. Look, there's still some time, so I'm not happy with them. I get it. Who have the Yankees got so far besides the 2 prospects and Luis Garcia? Nobody else. New York Alex. Ahmed, what's going on? Did the Mets make moves? Yep, the Mets made a lot of trades today. Say bye to Brazabon, Rayleigh, Weaver. I'm so mad. Hey, I'm not mad. Yeah, Clay Holmes definitely gonna get traded. If the Mets could get for Clay Holmes what I think the Padres, what the Giants got for Robbie Ray, that would be pretty good. Yeah, prospect, huh? I'm already mad at the team. I'm gonna be mad if we don't get Hunter Goodman and Mason Miller, right? We do need a catcher. All right, Brewers not overpaying for Scooble makes me happy. MB Sports Edit. But 3 prospects, you think that's an overpay for Scooble? MB Sports Edit. You don't remember when the Brewers got CC Sabathia in 2008? And he absolutely... They didn't re-sign him, I get it, but he helped them. Mets traded already a few people, Caden. They have traded some people. Mets trade who today? They traded Weaver, Brazabon. We may have breaking news coming again soon, folks. Mets trade Brazabon, Weaver, Rayleigh. Those are all traded today. Detroit wanted our number 2 and number 7 prospect with Logan Henderson. It just sucks, MB Sports Edit, because the Dodgers didn't give up their 2 best prospects. The Dodgers gave their 3rd and 5th best prospect. And it's just like, why not the 1st prospect, you know? Money line for today, I haven't even looked at that Don Piton. I haven't even really looked at the games today. I am focused on 100% the trade deadline. But give me a matchup and I'll give you my prediction. Henderson has 5 years of club control. Hey, all right, respect. I still think that all right, what have the Brewers done, though? For me, what, they got Bo Naylor? Is that enough for the Brewers? I don't think so. They got to get something else, the Brewers, like, in my opinion. But let's see. Look, we may have another trade. Let's see here. I got to keep my eyes on everything that's going on because I am telling you a lot of things are going to be happening, folks. A lot more things are going to be happening. Let me see if I can do something here really fast to listen to a live show and get some, some things, to know some things that are going on. Let me see if I could do this here really fast. Let me check there. And let's see if YouTube has anything going on in terms of a trade deadline special. I don't think they do. No, they don't. They don't have anything, at least, that you could go on YouTube and check. But all right, let me see here. Let's see there. All right, I'm just checking something out right here. See if there's anything there. All right, let's see here. All right, there we go. Let's listen to that. We're gonna have this here real fast. All right, so look, folks. Let me go here real fast. I have to turn this off, and then we'll be good to go. I'm just fixing this up right here right now, and we'll be good to go, folks. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, folks. So I'm not seeing any other trades at the moment, but I'm 100% on the lookout for it to see what other trades have happened. And I got to keep my phone open, to see all of these updates. I'm telling you. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me see here. Okay. We're good there. All right, folks, let me take a look there. All right, so Varsho to Houston. You just saw Varsho to Houston. I gotta check that. They got Dustin May and Jojo Romero. Do you think that those guys can help them beat the Dodgers? NB Sports Edit. We trade a lot of good arms in the bullpen. It's gonna be difficult to replace those arms from Nathan. Hey, but with the Mets position, you can't keep those guys and lose them for nothing, you know? Varsho to Houston from Sergeant Kitty Sprinkles. I think what sucks is they gave him to the Dodgers for pennies on the dollar. I'm telling you, we traded Ray and Arraez, not good, but had to from Roy. I understand. Giants have really underachieved. Angels should trade Trout to the Dodgers. Come on, Cookster. No chance. Angels need to fire some of the rest of the squad. I agree. Joe Adele is gone. Trade Trout. What's going on, Hector? We jinxed Scooby, bruh. Phillies buying in seems like a terrible move. No other choice. Hey, Phillies had to do something. They 100% had to do something. Donald says the Dodgers. All right, let me see here really fast. I'm not seeing it so far where it says that Varsho's going to Houston. Personally, I haven't gotten that notification. I haven't gotten the notification that Varsho's going to Houston, but I'm looking for it. I'm looking. Some people have said that, you know, Varsho's to Houston, but personally, I haven't seen it, honestly speaking, folks. I haven't seen that Varsho's been traded. So until I see it for myself, not that I want to discredit what people are saying. I'm saying I personally haven't seen the news about Varsho being traded. Okay, it's not in yet, but it could be happening. All right. Look, so I want to talk about the Adley Rutschman trade because look, that is an absolute massive trade. Let me see there. John Heyman and Jeff Passan are two people that definitely I gotta. Let me go to his Twitter right now. John Heyman on Twitter. He says, okay, Padres trying on Trevor Larnach as well as Burleson and Nootbaar wants lefty hitter. All right. Oh, okay. I see it right there now. Yup. Heyman reported 7 minutes ago. Dalton Varsho to the Astros. John Heyman also Cubs acquire hard-throwing right-handed reliever from the Angels. Ryan Zephyrjohn. All right. How about that? Mets still expected to deal Clay Holmes, Robert Jr., and Tyrone Taylor. First on we. Okay, let's see there. All right, let me go. So we got that. I got it there. Thanks a lot for telling me. Let me check Jeff Passan's Twitter to see if we got anything from Jeff Passan because they are very, very helpful. Okay, wait. The New York Yankees. Let me see. Oh, no. My bad. I was about to say the New York Yankees, but no. Yeah, the Houston Astros are getting center fielder Dalton Varsho. I'm surprised the Blue Jays gave him up, but he wasn't hitting. How about the Blue Jays trading a bunch of people that were in the World Series with them? The Cubs are also acquiring left-hander Braxton Garrett in a trade with the Miami Marlins. Right-hander Anthony Enyeson is going to Baltimore in the Adley Rutschman deal. All right, let me see here the comment section. Boston got Adley. So Skeens ain't going nowhere. You guys traded Spencer? Who traded Spencer? All right. Look, I'm going to talk about the Adley Rutschman trade. I'm going to talk about it for the sake of the Red Sox, and then I'm going to go into other teams. Look, shout out to the Boston Red Sox, man. Shout out to the Boston Red Sox. I mean, the Red Sox getting Adley Rutschman is absolute a massive deal. That's a big deal right there. Adley Rutschman, is he the best catcher in the MLB? I don't know. I think catcher is one of those positions that, yes, is there a catcher that you could look at and say it's the clear catcher, the best one? Yeah. But but it's also a complicated position at times because of how it takes the toll it takes on the knees. You know, catchers, they mentally it's harder because of hitting, the responsibility they have. It's not easy. So the Red Sox got two catchers, and they got again Adley Rutschman from the Baltimore Orioles, where I'm shocked the Baltimore Orioles would trade him there. But they also got a catcher, Jake Rogers, and they even got cash. So the Red Sox get the Orioles 2019 first round pick. The surging Red Sox filled their need for production at catcher a few hours in advance by acquiring Adley Rutschman, one of the most recognized players. And the 5-player return haul to Baltimore is headlined by right-handed pitching prospect Anthony Ayanson, ranked number 49 in the top 100. That's a good one. And that's Boston's number 2 prospects. The Alsos are also getting Boston catcher Carlos Narvaez, fair, plus right-hander Kyson Witherspoon, Boston's number 4 prospect, and outfielder Andy Ozokar, Boston's number 5 prospect, and a player to be named later. So, look, that's a big. The Boston Red Sox gave away a lot, but as I mentioned yesterday, and I'm gonna keep mentioning throughout the trade deadline, we don't know how these prospects work out. Adley Rutschman, I am gonna go and give you Adley Rutschman's stats right now. I'm gonna give you his stats, and I want to give you his stats and go from there, because again, a catcher that hits 250 is like, it's like, wow. It's something that doesn't happen a lot in today's MLB. And they got themselves a young catcher. He's still in his 20s. And I like Adley Rutschman. I'm telling, and again, some players need a change of scenery. Some players need that. Now, Rutschman's stats. Now, quote unquote, people could say he's having, I don't want to say a down year, but there's not much power there. So he has 247 at bats. He has scored 30 runs, 62 hits, in 247 at bats, 8 home runs, 47 RBIs, 251 batting average. His OPS, OBP, on base percentage is 331, and 764 is his OPS. And look, he's pretty much at his career numbers, but I'm not sure if he's had injuries this year as to why. Let me see how many games he's played. Yeah, he's only played 67 games this season. So Rutschman, Rutschman was injured throughout some of the season. He definitely was injured throughout some of the season. But look, the Red Sox are going for it. The Red Sox swept the Dodgers Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They won the 3 games. And the Red Sox could have came into today even and said, look, we just swept the champs. Maybe we don't have to do anything. Maybe we can just take it and just leave it as. But they don't do that. The Red Sox sweep the Dodgers, but they say we're hungry. We want more. And the Red Sox, in their last 26 games, they're 22-4. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing what the Red Sox have been able to do to turn around their season. And getting Adley Rutschman, where is he a top 5, top 7 catcher? For me, 100%. 100% he is a top 5, top 7, the absolute max. He is a top 1, in my opinion. In my 100%, in my position, he 100% is, one of the best, in my opinion. Maybe not this season, but overall, when we're talking about the potential, when we're talking about what he's done throughout his career. Now, I get it. He's with Baltimore. But now he's going to a Boston team that they're on fire. And I believe that he is going to help them out massively. I get it. Stats-wise, he may not appear to be a top 5, top 7 catcher in the MLB. He may not appear that. But he is a pretty good catcher. And he is going to help out the Boston Red Sox a lot. He is going to help out the Red Sox a lot. Now, who else the Red Sox got in that deal? The Red Sox got also catcher Jake Rogers. So they got 2 catchers and they got cash. They gave away good prospects. But look, again, those prospects they gave up, they were not going to help the Red Sox win this year. And what the Red Sox have done from this past 30 games, let's say, what the Red Sox have done, they have established we're trying to win. Last year, the Red Sox were in the wild card. They went 3 games with the Yankees. They lost in game 3. Red Sox are trying to make a deep playoff run. So those prospects that they gave up, they are not going to help them win this year. So they had to go for it. They 100% had to go for it. And look, I'm telling you, I ain't mad at it. I'm happy for it. We got RB says here for the support, but call me crazy, but not too interested in the trades. Just what comes of them. All right, I get you, RB. Well, we got about 1 hour and 31 minutes though to the trade deadline. But for me, it's a massive trade for the Red Sox. You keep him in the division, Rutschman. You take him away from Baltimore. You don't let Rutschman go to the Yankees, where a lot of people were actually predicting that Rutschman may be going to the Yankees, and that didn't happen. So that right there is huge. The Yankees, they don't get Liam Hicks, and arguably the weak point for the Yankees is the catcher position. They got a hitter, Luis Garcia Jr., which is good, but the Yankees need a catcher, and I don't think they should try to do the playoffs with with the catchers that they have. Personally, it's just my opinion. I don't think so. You got to give all the shout, all the love to the Boston Red Sox, because they made a massive move, and I'm telling you, they're trying to win. It's just as simple as that, and they're close to the Yankees. All right, some comments on TikTok. Boston got Adley. Yup, I love the Adley trade. I agree. I think Tiger's going to be the best team in baseball 3 to 4 years from now. Liam Stuff, what makes you say that? You like the trades they made for the prospects? Roy says he ain't leaving. Who ain't leaving? Huge W for the Red Sox. I agree. We going all out. Hey, Donald Meyer, bruh, he is always hurt and always swinging from his knees. Bye. Okay, that's Ricky. I'm guessing Ricky's a Baltimore fan. We gave a lot, but we are here to win now. Yeah, Red Sox, they definitely did give a lot. They definitely did give a lot. The Trout, I hope Trout gets traded. He didn't get traded yet, but I hope he does. And look, the Red Sox would not have made the trade if Rutschman wasn't going to be okay. Red Sox have to check. You're going to check if he's okay. It's just the reality. They weren't going to trade him. Well, for me, the trade deadline is 6 p.m. Eastern time. 6 p.m. Eastern time. He's hurt at the moment. Okay. Any team buying in like that is buying in to win second place, though, from MB Sports Edit. You talking about the Red Sox, MB Sports Edit? Let's see there. Okay. Have there been any good trades since I was last here? No, just so far Varsho was traded. If Goodman goes to the Yankees, it's over with. Hey, yeah, MB Sports Edit, that's a good one there. The Yankees getting Hunter Goodman. He's currently batting .258, 33 home runs, 65 RBIs. Yankees need to try to get this. Yankees need to get Hunter Goodman. They may have to give up a lot for Hunter Goodman because he's having a really good season. Now, I get it. It's in Coors Field, but coming to Yankee Stadium with that short porch, Yankees need to see to get him. Let me see here. Yeah, Schoolboy to the Dodgers. Bruh, Uncle Bobby, I mean, the Phillies are going to be better, in my opinion. If we get Goodman and Miller, New York Alex, I agree. If they get Goodman and Miller, then Yankee fans have to just calm down because that's going to be impressive right there. I assume my Cards are going to do nothing and wait another year for players to mature. Rick Rain, 100%. The Cardinals have been slacking lately. They've been falling out of contention. They're still close, but they've been falling out of it, let's say. So, you think Mason Miller gets sold at the deadline? Man, it's a tough one, man. To say that Mason Miller's going to go, I don't think so, man. Personally, I don't. Dodgers 3P from South Beach, I don't think so. I don't think the Dodgers are going to 3P, even though they should. They better 3P. That's what I got to say. Cubs win today from Love and Miggy. The Dodgers got swept by the Red Sox. I don't know. I may think that the Dodgers may get a win today because they play in the Cubs. Dodgers got solid pitching, 100%. Manino's here. Manino, what's going on? Cubs win today. Yeah, I think I'm going to choose the Dodgers in that game just because they got swept by the Red Sox, and Lord knows they need a win. They definitely need a win. So, look, I'm checking out John Heyman's Twitter, Jeff Passan's Twitter. I'm not seeing anything in terms of any other breaking news, but without a doubt, we are going to get closer to, other trades that are going to be happening. And look, again, as the trades happen, we are going to be here to talk about them. Please feel free, put your comments there. Let us know what you think about the trades. And, let's go for there. If the Yankees end this with two trades and only one, were good, I'm going to be infuriated. From New York Alex, as you should be. Red Sox may build a hell of a roster, and in that, getting the catcher from the Orioles, yeah. Manino, yup, 100% Red Sox are trying to win. They're trying to win. They don't believe that what they're doing is a fluke, and I like it. I like it. They gave up a lot, though, but now I will say this. They have to make sure that Rutschman is healthy, and if they made the trade, he's going to be okay. It's just the reality. Shout out to Alexandra for the follow. On TikTok with the New York Mets. I see a New York Mets. Yep, a New York Mets fan. Hey, I'm about to be talking about the Mets just now. The Mets trades that they've done. Manino says they may have rebuilt the O's. Hey, Manino, it's true. It's true. Look, there are some teams that they don't have an optimism that they're gonna win. They're gonna, go forward. They don't have that. They are just more whatever happens, happens. But there are some that they're okay with selling if they believe it'll help them win. If they'll help their future better, especially with the CBA coming up. JB says the Rangers not doing anything is driving me crazy. JB 15, who do you want to see the Rangers get? Because it's true. I mean, they've lost, 5 in a row? The Astros won 6. The Astros are 58 and 55, and they're in first place in the division. The Rangers are right there. I mean, the AL West is right there. You would think that they'll be making a move. The Mets need to trade for someone. Yeah, the Mets are definitely going to be doing some more trades. All right, look, and I'm going to go to the Mets right now. That's who I want to talk about, the Mets right now, and talk about some of the Mets trades that they've made. Because look, we are talking about the Mets trades, and look, we're talking about their trades in the sense of, what are we expecting? They're selling. The Mets are selling. The Mets, I am happy that they're selling. You cannot lose these people for nothing. You can't. It's just the reality. If you are the Mets, you cannot lose these players that have been successful for nothing. I don't like us trading Luke Weaver. Colin, look, I get it. But Luke Weaver, arguably, this is the highest his value will ever be. You got to get something for that. You got to. Because the Mets are not in a win-now position. You got to get something for that. So, but I respect it that you don't like it. So, all right. But look, All right, let me go really fast with what the Mets have done. And from what the Mets have done, you can feel free to give your reactions, your comments, and let us know what you think about it, because the Mets have definitely been busy. All right, so look, the New York Mets, they trade Luke Weaver. Let me go back here, my bad. Let me go here. All right, the New York Mets, let's start with here. The Mets traded catcher Ben Rortvedt to the Dodgers for Chase McDermott. So, Chase McDermott, I mean, he has a 7 ERA right now. He's barely pitched. I think he's been in the MLB since 2024. I mean, this was just something so minor. It was nothing, to break it off. It's something minor. But all right, now look, the Mets, they traded Brooks Raley. Brooks Raley is gone for the New York Mets. He's no longer with the Mets, and I get it. In return, the Mets get John Spikerman and Luke Gabrish. So I want to talk a little bit about Luke Gabrish. And, for that, I have to go to Mets channels and just get the exact, wherewithal. So, let's start with outfielder John Spikerman is the Phillies' 27th ranked prospect. It's not high. While right-handed pitcher Luke Gabrish, he's out of the Phillies' top 30. Look, if you are looking at that, the Mets lose the trade. They lose the trade because you're getting the Phillies, not the MLB's 27th prospect, the Phillies' 27th prospect. So that pick can be anywhere. That prospect can be in the 200s, the 300s, for all we know, in terms of prospects. And they get another one that's not even in the top 30. So if we're looking at that, the Mets lose that trade. But for me, again, I understand the prospect ranking, the prospect this, the prospect that. I get it. But look, the reality is the New York Mets right now, they have, what's his name? Francisco Alvarez. And at one point, Alvarez was ranked the number 1 prospect in baseball. Now, is he terrible? I'm not saying he's terrible. But I expected more from Alvarez, even though he's been okay. But I still expected more. But we're not getting that. So, for me, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying that I don't want to value when you get a prospect that's in the top 100, the top 50, the top 10. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that that is not valued. It 100% is valued. But it's not a guarantee that just because they're a top whatever prospect that they're going to pan out, especially with the Mets. Oh my goodness. With all the luck us Met fans have been having, Lord have mercy. What guarantees do we have? Now, all right. The Mets also traded Huascar Brazaban. This was their first trade of the day. Huascar Brazaban was traded from the Mets. And let me go there. The Mets ended up getting for Brazaban, they got 2 prospects from the White Sox. They got Gabe Davis and Zach Franklin. Now, let me see here if they have any info about those 2 prospects. Because, that I like to get the opinions of some people, what they think in terms of regards of prospects. And Met fans, David Stearns is going to be going live at 6:30 to talk about the after trade deadline. And I definitely want to react to that. So, all right, look, Gabe Davis, who they got in this Brazaban deal, was college teammates at OSU with Carson Bench and Nolan McLean. Look, am I saying that that's going to be, oh boy, that's going to be great. But if one thing that connections can do, I know baseball's a different sport, but look at the Knicks. The Knicks had 3 people, a team from Villanova that won a national championship. Now, I know that this team didn't, but they had a team that won, and they brought them together, and it has power in terms of chemistry. So they get him, and let me see if there's any other notice regarding the other prospect, which is Zach Franklin. Let me see if there's anything. Let me see. I want to see if there's any other notice regarding Zach Franklin. Okay, yeah, Zach Franklin, look, he's been in the minors. Not a ton about him. There's not a high upside in the sense of when I look at his numbers, and I'm not seeing his ranking, but okay, let me see really fast the top 100 prospects. Top 100 MLB prospects. Let me take a look at that, and let me check even if any of these players are cracking that for the Mets, because, you know, the Mets 100% making these trades. We got to see if any of these guys crack it. So Gabe Davis, who they got in the trade for Brazaban, he is already, let me see there. Gabe Davis goes up to number 18 in the Mets prospect. And where's the other one? Look, so far, Franklin, I don't think he's a prospect. He's not even in the top 30. He may have just been a pitcher, even though I saw that Zach Franklin was, let me see here, he was with 2 minor league teams in 2023, 2025. Yeah, he's played minor league. He hasn't made his major league debut. And his minor league numbers in his career, he has an ERA of 3.46, 3.46. Minors, 12 wins, 9 losses, 22 saves. So he got saves as well. He's not a starter. And look, I mean, if the Mets made the trade for Brazaban, we're going to have to see what it is going to turn out to. But again, when we're talking about prospects, I in no way am about to say, oh, the Mets lost the trade. I'm not going to say that, because I need to see how the prospects turn out. We got Robert Austin is on YouTube with us and says Red Sox win the World Series. Hey, I like the prediction. I don't want the Dodgers to three-peat. I like the prediction. But, hey, shout out to them there. All right. Now, let me take a quick look at TikTok real fast. Apparently, the Pirates guy that we got for Luke trade is amazing. Yeah, I'm about to get to that one. I'm about to 100%. I'm about to 100% get to that Luke Weaver trade. But okay, and the New York Mets fan is here. All right. So the Mets, I already mentioned, they traded Brazaban. They traded Brooks Raley. They got John Spikerman and Luke Gabrish. Now, this is the big trade where the Mets, they end up trading Luke Weaver. Luke Weaver is officially gone. He is no longer a New York Met. And the person that they traded him for, he has my name. So the New York Mets, look, this is how you know that this trade was the best trade so far out of the trades of the day. Because the Mets got, it's a 1-for-1 trade. The Mets trade right-handed pitcher Luke Weaver, and they get shortstop Sammy Stafaro. And look, he's a 21-year-old shortstop from Cortland, New York. I am one of the biggest Mets fans, and I will give the Mets everything I have. I mean, look, can I sit here and say that that's enough? No, words are not enough. But those are the things us Met fans want to hear. I want to hear that. I don't want to hear players coming to the Mets, like, and say, I'm here and, I want to win ball games. And look, I get that, but I'm quoting. I am the biggest Mets fan ever. Okay, not that. And will give the Mets everything I have. Like, he is pretty much with those words saying, I'm gonna surrender to the Mets. And look, again, actions speak louder than words, but that's the type of thing I'm looking at. The thing about the PCA trade that hurts the Mets the most is that you traded PCA, a man with, where you see his fire. He has fire in the game. He plays with passion. You lost that. And that's why it hurts. The Mets need players. And one of my problems with this Mets team is I look at a team where I'm like, damn, where's the heart? Where is the heart from these respective players? Where is the fight? I gave the argument 3 games. The 2 against the Dodgers and 1, was it against the Marlins? I think it was the Marlins or what team were they playing that they played after, I think the Braves, when they lost that game 1-0. And I just saw MB Sports Edit just said Clay Holmes traded. All right, we're about to check that. Look, and this is why I had to be live to talk about all of this. Look, and let me go to Jeff Passan. I wanted to see heart from the Mets, and I'm going to get back to the heart part, but let me go check Jeff Passan real fast. Let me check Jeff Passan's Twitter. So far, I'm not seeing anything on Jeff Passan's Twitter. Okay, all right. I see it here. John Heyman, Holmes and Taylor to the Cubs. Oh, snap. Clay Holmes and Tyrone Taylor to the Cubs from the Mets for a top infield prospect, which the name, that's Jefferson Rojas. So the trade, but it does say this, pending medicals. It does say that, pending medicals. So the trade is out there. The Mets just trade right now. Look, we had to be live. The Mets trade Clay Holmes and Tyrone Taylor for an infield prospect. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't want Tyrone Taylor to be traded neither, folks. But damn, I mean, Jeff Passan just put it right now. The Cubs are acquiring right-hander Clay Holmes and out for the Tyrone Taylor from the New York Mets for infielder Jefferson Rojas. Look, let me take a quick look at Jefferson Rojas. Let me take a quick look at him. And I need to at least see who Jefferson Rojas is. Let me see where he's ranked in the top, in the top 100. Okay, Cubs, Jefferson Rojas. Okay, look. Now, Jefferson Rojas, he is the Cubs' second prospect. He's the number 2 prospect. Now, I've been telling you all, I'm not impressed with that just because you're the number 2 prospect for the Cubs. I'm going to tell you in the top 100. Just because you're that, it doesn't mean you're going to pan out. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you are going to pan out. And look, in the top 100, he is number 63. He's a third baseman, and he's also a shortstop. He bats right. He throws right. So, look, why did Clay Holmes have to be traded? For me, Clay Holmes had to be traded because he has outpitched his contract. He has. He's outpitched his contract. And what are the chances of him opting into his deal? Slim. Especially with the CBA, we're going to have to see. I think he's going to want a 3-4. He's going to want maybe Sean Manaea type money. And the Mets, what are the Mets going to tell him? No, we can't. He's pitched better than Sean Manaea. He's been more consistent than Sean Manaea. And what are the Mets going to tell him? No, we can't. You got to trade him. Because, what, they're going to lose him for nothing? You got to. Now, Tyrone Taylor, that one right there is a little bit like, you know, they didn't have to trade Tyrone Taylor. They could have kept him, but unfortunately, Tyrone Taylor, yeah, he is gone. MB Sports Edit, I agree. Solid for the Mets. To the Cubs, yup. Rojas, exactly, bro. No, we need Pete. 4 for 4 will always do that. My entire, what do you mean, my entire team? 4 for 4 will always do that. What do you mean by that? But yo, they traded for a lot of infield prospects. They're gonna be heavy on the trade market in the offseason. Huh. I'll never forget that catch versus the Yankees from TT. I never forget that home run this year. That was probably my favorite Mets moment of the season. Tyrone Taylor. So look, that's a big trade right there, folks. That is a really, really big trade. A massive trade right there. Clay Holmes is leaving the New York Mets and Tyrone Taylor for the Cubs' number 2 prospect. This number 2 prospect, he's ranked number 63. And look, now the Mets, of course, this says that pending, medical. So yeah, I mean, it's a massive trade right there. I mean, it's disappointing that Taylor had to go. I will 100% say that. It's very, very disappointed that Tyrone Taylor has to go. I mean, I wanted Tyrone Taylor to stay, but look, this is also the type of player that I am, folks. This is the type of person that I am. I want to see Tyrone Taylor, Clay Holmes win. I'm going to be rooting for them. Look, I don't want the Dodgers to repeat. I wouldn't mind seeing the Cubs go to the World Series. I don't want the Dodgers to repeat, I want to see another team, but yeah, I mean, I'll never forget, we just lost Tyrone Taylor and Holmes. Yup, he's gone. Holmes' record, you selling him to be great. Holmes' record. Yeah, Holmes, look, Holmes has overachieved with the Mets. Going from a bullpen pitcher to a starter, he's overachieved. But I don't think that it's the right move, especially with the young guys. The Mets give Clay Holmes a 4-year contract extension. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't, I mean, he's not that bad. Brewers going to do it this year. Trust me, I'm delusional. Hey, MB Sports Edit, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad if they made it. I would not be mad. Trust me, I would actually like to see it. Give me one moment here. Folks, we're getting under the 1 hour mark. We're at 1 hour and 5 minutes and counting. Hour and 4 minutes now and counting. The trade deadline is almost going to be over. What about when Scooble available? Exactly, Manino. Exactly. You can't give Clay Holmes an extension. You can't. As much, like if he told the Mets, look, I am going to opt in. I'm going to opt in. I mean, then that could probably be a different story. And let me even check Clay Holmes' contract just to take a look at that. Clay Holmes' contract. Let me take a quick look at his contract. Clay Holmes holds a player opt-out clause for his final year and $12 million salary. You think he wants $12 million salary? He signed a 3-year, $38 million deal with the Mets. You think he thinks he's worth that now? No chance. He's trying to get a 3-year, $60 million. 375. If Sean Manaea, now we're going to find out with CBA, but if Sean Manaea got 3 years 75, Clay Holmes is going to think, I've been better than him. I want to try to get something like that. So Manaea, he was going to opt out of a $12 million deal. It's just a reality. Fly. Okay, but Fly, I'm so mad we lost so many good players. George, come on, George. Now's not the time for that, George. Mets low-key cooking from Jack. I mean, like, all right, this is what I'm a little confused with Met fans. This is what I'm a little confused. Like the Mets are not going to, right now, they're not making anything happen. Like, why do you think the Mets should keep players and lose them for nothing? Arguably, can I be honest? If David Stearns knew he wasn't going to re-sign Pete Alonso, can I be honest? I wish David Stearns would have traded Pete Alonso. Can I be honest? I'm just being honest. If David Stearns had inside of him at last year's trade deadline, I am not going to re-sign Pete Alonso. I wish he would have traded him. Oh, but that's too much. How? It'll be even worse. At least you don't lose Pete for nothing. I don't want the Mets having these players and they lose them for nothing. I don't want that. So get something back for them. And trust me, I am not giving any type of praise right now to David Stearns. You know, that's just what I have to say, you know. Stearns never won anything. Why you putting him in the sky? I mean, you haven't been listening. You haven't been. I'm not giving Stearns any credit. I'm actually telling him if he knew he wasn't going to keep Pete Alonso, trade him. Trade him. You know? That's just the reality. Because I am not the type where I like a team to lose for nothing. If you're going to lose a player, at least lose them for something. Try to lose them for something. Don't just lose them for nothing. We also got the Tampa Bay Rays are acquiring right-handed reliever Tyler Wells from the Baltimore Orioles. The Chicago White Sox are acquiring catcher Joey Bart from the Atlanta Braves. So that's pretty good right there. We got some other trades coming in. Look, we're getting to the 1 hour mark, folks. We're getting to that 1 hour mark in the MLB trade deadline. And look, now I want to go, as we spoke about the Mets. Let me see here. At the beginning of the season, you were saying how you believed in Stearns. No chance. I did not say. Those words did not come out of my mouth. And everything's documented on my videos. I may have said I believe in the Mets team. I don't remember ever saying I believed in David Stearns. I don't ever. Now, I'm not a hater on David Stearns like how every Met fan hates. The Astros got Dalton Varsho. I've never said I believe in Stearns, but I'm not a David Stearns hater like how Met fans get him out, whatever. Look, if you make moves as a GM and your moves don't go well, you will be hated. And it's just a reality. But David Stearns is still with the Mets. So should I say I hope you suck, David Stearns? Should I say that? I'm a Mets fan. Why would I say that? I'm rooting for the Mets. Menino says, I still believe in Stearns. I believe in Steve Cohen as well. You know what else I believe? That Tara Scuba will be a free agent. All right. Shout out to Menino there. But, hey, look, I am happy the Mets are selling. They need to sell. They have to. You cannot lose these players for nothing. You can't. You cannot have. Now the focus, and Michael Cepeda was here yesterday, there are only like 6 games left that we can say I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to when the Mets play the Yankees on September 11th, that series, and when Pete Alonso comes back to New York. That's what I'm looking forward to. Other than that, there's not many other games that I'm looking forward to, not looking forward to that. So I want to see the young guys play for the Mets. I want to see the young guys play. I want to see what the young guys could do, and I want to see what's going to happen, And Steve Cohen and the Mets will not be outbid by anybody for Tarek Skubal. Let's see, man. Let's see. Everybody know, yeah, I'm going September 16th for that. It's going to be mad, Menino. I'm telling you. I am so happy, Caden. What are you happy about, Caden? Let us know what you're happy about. But look, these trades needed to happen. I do not want the Mets losing players in the keeping players that just weren't gonna, be maybe even on the team next year. Maybe not even on the team. You had to get something now for them. You had to. You absolutely had. And trust me, I am not mad about it. I'm excited about it. And let's go, man. Let's keep it going. Now, If the Mets could trade Robert Jr. and Polanco, I would love it, but Polanco has no value. If they could trade Robert Jr. and also trade Kodai Senga, I think we would be good in terms of the Mets giving up. Now, I think the Mets could get a decent player for Robert Jr. Senga, I don't know. I don't know. John Heyman puts Yankees still working on acquiring bats. Their run production is down more than a run since Judge went on the injured list. So, I mean, John Heyman reported there, Yankees better do something. Yankees better do something. The Yankees, they better make another move. They have not done enough. They have not done enough. Let me check Def Passing. I'm refreshing every moment to know about these guys. But look, I'm excited for the Mets and the trade of Clay Holmes and what you say, Tyrone Taylor. I'm gonna miss him, I'll be honest. But maybe he could come back next year. Stearns had a great day for the first time in a while from Jack. I'm telling you. Yo, Sandman, what's going on? Did you see this? The Padres checked in on Senga? I did. Keep in mind that this is the same team that traded PCA for how... Yeah, Scuba's scheduled to start tomorrow for the Dodgers. Yikes. They playing the Cubs. His agent, Scott Boras. When you hire Scott Boras, you want money the Mets provide. Who did the Mets get for Holmes and Tyrone? The Mets got the Cubs' number 2 prospect. The number 2 prospect, you can see it right here in the below. The Mets got the Cubs' number 2 prospect. Number 2 prospect, his name, let me say it again, Jefferson Rojas. He is the number 63 prospect in the top 100. He's 21 years old. His estimated arrival is in 2027, next year. He's from the Dominican Republic. Let's see here. Let me check some of his stats real fast. He is a career 257 hitter. On base is 338. Slugging 395. OPS 777. Let's see if he's a power hitter. 40 home runs, 213 RBIs in his career. He's having arguably his best year right now. He's hitting this year. Let's talk about this year in AA. He's hitting 270, slugging 461, on base 339. He has 15 home runs, 57 RBIs in 91 games. If you project that to 162 games, I know it's not the majors, but that could be maybe a 25 and 80. He's a shortstop and third base. So, that it's pretty interesting. It's 100% pretty interesting. Jefferson Rojas. Let's see here. Scuba want to win. If that doesn't happen this year, he ain't going to the Mets to lose. Yeah, I mean, look, my entire team, you're a Mets fan, and I get it. But right now, look, as a Mets fan, you could do one or two things. You could be a miserable Mets fan where being miserable as a Mets fan, maybe you think it's always, this is how it's going to be. That's fine. I choose not to be a miserable Mets fan. I'm not going to be a miserable Mets fan. Because in 2024, what the Mets did, coming into that season, we weren't even supposed to be contending. And look what happened. So I'm not about to be a miserable Mets fan. Oh, it's the end of the world. Yes, a lot of bad things been happening. I get it. But Soto, who thought Soto was coming to the Mets? What, just because of the money? All right. Don't matter. He's on the Mets. And Scuba could come to the Mets. It's possible. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Ramos to the Yankees in the works. Which Ramos? Chappie. Which Ramos? What did they do? Who cares? They didn't even go to the series. I mean, look, again, I guess that if there's no World Series, you're not satisfied. And that's okay. If that's how you feel, that's okay. It's not a problem. But I am not gonna be a miserable Mets fan. It's just as simple as that. I'm not gonna be that. And it makes no sense. Scooby to the Mets, it has a chance. It has a chance. And you can say it doesn't, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna be emotions or frustrations. Yeah, Heliot. I just put John Heyman put Heliot Ramos is in play for the Yankees. Let me see if anything Jeff Passan is saying right there. No, nothing else there. Let me see there. Heliot Ramos stats. I want to check out his stats from the San Francisco Giants. Okay, this year. Let me check out Heliot Ramos stats this year. All right, this year he's a left fielder. I mean, do the Yankees need a left fielder? Like, really? What do they need a left fielder for? Okay, if Judge is not coming back, all right. But, this year he's hitting 264 with the Giants, 9 home runs, 34 RBIs. I mean, do the Yankees need him? Heliot Ramos. Do they need a left fielder? You have Spencer Jones. You have let me see who else the Yankees even have, because unless you have Cody Bellinger, which he will be back, but are they giving in that he's not coming back, Judge? Which I did hear it is a possibility. I actually did hear that it's a possibility Judge won't be back. I did, but let me see the outfielders. They have okay, I mean, all right. They have right now Spencer Jones, Trent Grisham, Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez and Trent Grisham in the playoffs, I don't think that those guys should have massive roles. So if you tell me they're getting Heliot Ramos to be in the playoffs, all right, I guess. I mean, he's not a massive proven player, though, Ramos. He's not. He is not a proven player. I mean, he's a career 257 hitter. I mean, last year was arguably his first full season. He played 157 games. The year before, he played 121 games. The year before that, he only played 25, and then 9 the year before that. This year, he's played 74 games. So, I mean, is that what the Yankees need? I personally don't think. But, I mean, what can we say? If that's what they're going to go after, then so be it. But personally, I don't think that the Yankees, they need that. But, what can we say? Let me see there. Roy says, yeah, get rid of Ramos. And you a Giants fan, right, Roy? So you're like, you don't even want him on the team. Shout out to James Faulkner for following and also for sending the ice cream, the live, and the love. I appreciate you. Admit, Mets were lucky in 2024. It wasn't talent. It was luck. I can't admit that. I can't. I don't believe in luck like that, personally. They had a good run. Now, they didn't bring the full team back, personally. They didn't bring the full team back, so we will never know. They brought most of the people back, but they missed some people. Judge is in right field. He's in center field. And Soto's been here 2 years, and we missed players and got worse. And Soto's numbers not good. I mean, Soto's numbers not good. I don't understand what that means. How are his numbers not good? How are your Mets doing? Look, they've made some trades that needed to happen. They needed to make some trades. Yeah, they needed to make some trades. I'm back. Did the Yankees do anything? Look, Yankees haven't done anything. But John Heyman just put that the Yankees are in play for Heliot Ramos. Where, okay. What about the catcher position? Red Sox acquire outfielder Eli White. Look, there's a lot of trades going on right now. Okay, the Jeff Passan right now. The New York Yankees are finalizing a deal to acquire outfielder Heliot Ramos from the San Francisco Giants. Yankees have been seeking a right-handed bat, and if the deal clears medicals, Ramos will provide it. Look, I am not about to violate Ramos. No chance. He could come into the Yankees roster and impact them without a doubt. So they get some more depth for the outfield. My question is, what are they going to do for the outfield? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? James Faulkner says from Milwaukee, like him, but sometimes need a fresh start. I agree. Soto, the best from Roy. Mets have a zero bullpen next year. Are going to sign Scuba and have a $600 million payroll. I mean, come on, my entire. What's going on, my entire? Come on now. What is going on with you? Still regular. Need Tatis. For the Yankees, you want the Yankees to get Tatis? Luca says Dodgers are so stacked, it's not fair. Luca with the Canada flag. Look, the Dodgers are stacked. But I am not about to sit here and complain. And you have a Canada flag. Blue Jays was supposed to win the World Series last year. It's as simple as that. They didn't win it because of a lack of experience. And the Dodgers were stacked last year. Blue Jays are supposed to win that World Series. They didn't win it because of inexperience, and they didn't finish off the deal. So I am not about to sit here and complain. I'm not about to sit here and complain that, the Dodgers, I don't care about that. Other teams got to wake up and do their job better. It's as simple as that. Do better, all the other teams. People actually think there's baseball next year is crazy, from George. So you guys think, I think there's going to be baseball, but to say that there's going to be no season, I'm not there yet. I think there will be a lockout. I think that a lot will miss. But I don't think the whole season will be missed. It's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't think the whole season will be missed. Let's see here. Which Ramos? Heliot Ramos from the San Francisco Giants. Again, look, it's not a massive name, but it's somebody that could help the Yankees. A right-handed bat, I guess. It's a right-handed bat, but I don't think it's something major. I don't think it's something that's like, oh boy, like that right there is absolute massive. And look, so the Freddie Peralta traded by the Mets, he put, although things didn't work out as well as hoped, I want to thank the fans, my teammates, and the Mets organization for the love that they showed me. I want to wish everyone the best on their journey. Hey, Freddie Peralta, I'm telling you, I was very disappointed with you so much. But, hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. What can we say? Let me see here. Okay, let me see what you put there. Who's going to pitch in the bullpen? Please explain for the Mets. Look. Let me take a look at the Mets right now in their bullpen. So I could answer the question, because my entire team sucks. He's being a miserable Mets fan, and I'm very disappointed with that. Very disappointed. No, I mean, it's better to just, why even be a fan at that point, It makes no sense. Doesn't make sense. But let me look at the Mets' current team, and I'm going to tell you who their bullpen can be next year. Because the Mets, look, and if you even heard Steve Cohen, the Mets are not even necessarily going to be putting all their eggs in the basket to be competing for 2027. That's what we've heard a little bit. But let me check the roster real fast. Okay. Yeah. The Mets pitching thing is amazing right now. Like, it is absolutely empty right now. Literally. They're pitching. They're active. The active pitchers for the Mets right now: Bryce Conley, Daniel Duarte, Sean Manaea, Nolan McLean, Christian Scott, Kodai Senga, oh my gosh, Robert Stock, Zach Thornton, and Devin Williams. That is oh my God. Look, I don't have the answers of who's going to be in the Mets bullpen, but the bullpen, you should know this. You should know this. The bullpen is not the most important part of a team. The Dodgers last year, they won the World Series without a closer. Why do you think they got Edwin Diaz? They won the World Series last year without a closer. They got Tanner Scott, and he was horrible for them. They won without a bullpen. So I'm not sitting here saying the Mets are going to have the great bullpen or not. But what I'm saying is that the Mets bullpen was okay this year. And we expected their bullpen to not be that good. Or many people didn't have much expectation. The starting pitching and the production offensively is what really needs to be changed on this team. So I'm not worried about bullpen. Let me see here. You were big on not miserable, just being real. I gotta be that, because at this time, like you're saying, answer your question about the bullpen. I don't have all the answers, but I have some optimism in the Mets still, though. What a trade for the Giants, huh? So the Yankees haven't gotten anyone. They got Heliot Ramos. So should I not buy tickets for next year? I mean, if you're just going to complain about the Mets and have no optimism, like, if you want to waste money on that, then I'm not going to say you shouldn't, but it doesn't make sense, you know? If I'm going to complain about something and be mad and frustrated, I don't think that I should support it if I'm going to feel like that. What starters are going to sign with no bullpen? Again, the Mets will figure it out. That's what I believe. Our bullpen was literally the most important thing on our team this year. Our offense is boop. Our bullpen was the best part of the team. Our starters suck. You said they won't compete. Probably not. Probably not. Steve Cohen, I can't quote him, but he said, let me see if I can get what Steve Cohen said. Steve Cohen 2027 talks 2027 interview. Let me see there. All right. Okay. Let me see. I'm not finding. Cohen admitted, I don't know if these are quotes from him. Let me see here. Cohen admitted profound concern over the team's immediate direction and underperforming farm system, noting that the ultimate target to contend heavily is set for 2027. So that's different. But with what is, in other words, going to happen with the CBA, look, we don't know what's going to happen. But I'm choosing to believe that the Mets will be good. Am I a big fan of David Stearns? I'm not. But what am I supposed to do? I hope he sucks. I hope the Mets suck. Of course not. I'm going to believe. Let me see. Yes, they will figure it out. Then we'll need a $600 million payroll to figure it out. I mean, you know that's a hyperbole. You know that. But if that's what you want to say, why trade Holmes? Look, you got to trade Clay Holmes because Clay Holmes was going to want an extension. Right now, Clay Holmes is due to make $12 million next year. He's overachieved. You think he's going to accept $12 million for next year? At this point, I hope there's a lockout so we won't have to watch this blasphemy next year. All right. Right, but regardless, we need pitching. I agree. But look, again, if you guys are not understanding, the Mets are punting on the season. Like, I don't understand what's hard to understand about that. They're punting on the season. They are going to start bringing up a bunch of no-name people we don't know, to see what they have. Jonah Tong, how long are you going to keep him in AAA? They're going to bring up Jonah Tong very soon. It's just a matter of time. The pitcher that's in the Mets top 100, let me see where he's at. Jonathan, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He was recently promoted to AAA. We need to see how he's going to do. Jonathan Santucci. He's going to come very soon to the big leagues. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. The Mets still, look, Zach Wenninger, he's up. The Mets still have Ryan Clifford that's supposed to come up. Jack Wenninger, even though he's fell off a little bit, he's going to come up. He's supposed to come up. Nick Morabito's going to come up. The Mets are pivoting to, they are gonna let it rock out with a lot of these young guys. And look, I am not that mad at that because I want to see what the young guys could do. That's how I feel. We will just end up paying more for another pitcher. Tong is a bust. Stop worrying about him. Look, if that's how you feel, I mean, respect. I respect how you feel. But I don't feel that way, you know? I get punting the season, but we know Clay Holmes has been good. He could have been a veteran pitcher. Still need veteran pitching. I agree. But what contract, Nathan, you going to give to Clay Holmes? Let me know. What contract? Michael Cepeda's here. Oh, my God. Michael Cepeda, I need your feedback. And look, folks, 37 minutes and counting for the trade deadline. 37 minutes and counting. It's about to be over. Let me check Jeff Passan real fast. Yeah, the last thing from Jeff Passan, the Yankees are getting Heliot Ramos. Let's see from John Heyman. Let me see. Yankees still inquiring on righty hitters, pen help, and backup catchers. Anthony Senzatella to the Brewers. Anthony Senzatella to the Brewers. Let me take a quick look here really fast. Let me see there. All right. We got to update everything that we have and go from there, folks. Let's see here. Anthony Senzatello on the move. Let me see there. Yeah, there's a lot of trades going on. And look. Let me see this here. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to take a look at something really fast on the Mets channel and go from there. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, Brooks Raley's gone. Let me see here. Let me see here. I'm just taking a quick look. Give me a quick minute, folks. Quick minute. I'm just taking a look at some notes real fast to make sure. Let me see there. All right. Good there. All right. Let me check back to the comments. All right. Tony Brigatini or oh my God. I mean to say Tony. Tony, what's going on, man? I appreciate you for the follow. Mets aren't giving $10 back on every ticket this season. Aren't they giving vouchers? 4 years, $80 million. Look, 4 years, $80 million. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. That's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. But was Clay Holmes going to accept that? That's the question. Because Clay Holmes saw that the Mets paid Sean Manaea, who had one good season. And Clay Holmes has had 2 good seasons before injury. 2 good. The Mets paid him 3 years, $75 million. You really think Clay Holmes is going to settle for less than that? You think? I don't think so, personally. I could be wrong, but I don't. Michael says, man, it hurts losing Clay Holmes. Hopefully we can re-sign them next year, but those rarely happen. All right, but look, and Peralta and Matas, bad pitchers we spent money on and picks. Yeah, Mets just traded everyone for prospects. They needed to, Roblox. We had Holmes knowing he's been good. I agree. Get in the positions we don't need, bruh. I would have kept Holmes and paid him, especially knowing he has been good. Hey man, you're doing great. Damn, what's up with me? You were great doing the next cover. You're the best. Hey Tony, I really, really appreciate you. 100% shout out to you. Let me see, Roy. Now we will spend money on pitchers that won't be any good, like Peralta and Montas. Eric Miller. Okay, to Red. Man, let me see. Eric Miller gone. Where he's going. So when you think the Mets will compete? 2 to 3 years, Soto will walk He will opt out if they lose 4. They didn't offer it. Let me see there. Can someone tell me what the Yankees are doing? How do they let Adley and Hicks go? I'm telling you. To division rivals, I agree. Manaea's a bust, just wasting money. That's what I'm saying. And look, the Mets not giving Clay Holmes that contract is, it's kind of, they're not trying to fall into that with what happened with Manaea. It's just the reality. It's the reality. That's the only thing I can understand. Now, okay, I said that the Mets wouldn't compete in 2027. I don't want those words to be my words. I was going with what I was kind of understanding from the interview from Steve Cohen. But very well, the Mets could compete in 2027. You still have Lindor. You still have Juan Soto. Bo Bichette, look, we don't know what's going to happen with the CBA. It doesn't look like Bo Bichette's going to be traded. The Mets, look, if the Mets are not respectable next year, David Stearns will go. When I say respectable, the Mets cannot be this bad this year. Like how bad they are right now, Mets can't be. Mets have to be. Am I saying the Mets need to win the World Series next year? No. But they cannot be freaking 20 games under 500 next year. Mets need to be in it. They need to be competitive. They need to seem functional, in my opinion. They need to. If they don't, then of course I think he goes. 31 minutes left, folks. Yankees are still looking for more. And I'm going to talk more about the Yankees. The Boston Red Sox are finalizing a trade for left-handed reliever Eric Miller from the San Francisco Giants for infielder Marcelo Mayer. Yeah, that's that from Jeff Passan, John Heyman. Yankees are still looking. Right now. Let's see now. He's mashing in double name. I agree, Michael. Look, the Mets right now, they are going to pivot and they're going to bring up a lot of young guys. They have no choice. They have to. And I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Mets will miss another playoffs for 2027, 3 years in a row. I love it. From Gotti. All right. Nobody will take Bichette. That was another stupid spending contract. It was a panic contract. 100% I agree with that. I agree. But a team with those three, because, okay, I was looking at a post on WFAN where they were talking about a little bit about Soto commending him. All of these stars are going to the Dodgers. Like, people hammered KD when he went to the Warriors. He chose to go there because it's the super team. People have, like, that narrative. Like, Soto, people could say he chose the Mets because of money. I don't care. If he opts out in 3 more years, I don't care. It is what it is. But what I will say is that Soto chose the Mets. And from last year, the Mets having one of the best farms in baseball to now this year having one of the worst, it can change. And I'm going to choose to believe in that. Nobody last year thought Carson Bench and AJ Ewing could do what they're doing today. Is there anybody? Please. Is there a Mets fan in the chat that thought Carson Bench and AJ Ewing could be productive how they've been? Please, if they are, let me know. Let me know. Zach Thornton, he's been hit up his last few starts, but he has looked like a 3rd or 4th pitcher in a rotation. Not an ace. Not even a number 2, but maybe, I'm saying maybe a 3rd or 4th pitcher in a rotation. Maybe even 5th, where if somebody like him could be a 5th rotation pitcher, a 5th starter in your rotation, I don't think that's bad. He's 2-2 this year, 2.88. It's safe to say he will be up for the rest of the season. Yesterday, Robert Stock for the Mets. I believe that was his major league debut. No, it wasn't actually. Let me check here his stats. Yeah, it wasn't. He pitched for the San Diego Padres in 2018, 2019, the Red Sox in 2020. 2021, he was with the Cubs and the Mets. But then he was away from the MLB literally 2022, 23, and 2024. I'm guessing injury, but he made it back. I'm not sitting here saying he's going to be great, but he was okay yesterday. I mean, with the Mets, he lost the game, but or did he lose the game? Or let me see here. He gave up 1 run, you know? Let me see there really fast. I'm taking a look at the rest of the Mets line, like pitchers. Kodai Senga gotta go. Christian Scott, he's good. I like him. All right, let me check here real fast. Who else we got left? Senga and Robert Jr. Yikes, Michael, I'm telling you. Damn, they really traded everyone they said they were. They did, Jared. They did. What does that mean Soto made a bad decision? If Soto was told no playoffs for 3 years, he don't. Give him time. Don't rate pitchers on 5 to 10 starts. I'm reacting to what I see. I have to react to what I see. I have to. 100% have to react to what I see. What does that mean Soto made a bad decision? I mean, I didn't say Soto made a bad decision. I didn't say that. If Soto was told no playoffs for 3 years, I mean, look. Okay, you know, things happen. Things happen. It's just the reality. Things happen. I don't know if did Soto make the playoffs with the Nationals every year? I know it's a long time ago. Things happen. Things happen. It's just the reality. You ain't going to make the playoffs every year. Look at Mike Trout. Mike Trout hasn't. When's the last time Mike Trout's been in the playoffs? He hasn't been in the playoffs for a long time. Things happen. It's just as simple as that. But I choose to keep saying, give him time. Yeah, I got to give him time. But at the same time, he's looking like he could be a fourth or third pitcher in a rotation. He's looking like it. I mean, Jefferson Rojas is fantastic, top 100 prospect, number 2. Yeah, he's now 63. You say he chose the Mets. Not supposed to happen 3 years in a row. Well, it's not 3. It's about to be 2. Hold on. Caden, what you mean there, Caden? The Mets are gonna win the World Series, you're saying? With the payroll. Yeah, look, but we gotta put blame on players for not executing. Like, the Mets needed to be better this year. I get it if they were like not over 500 drastically, but we're talking about 20 games under 500. I'm sorry, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And with Soto in the lineup, look, the Mets are a lot better. With Soto out, they're a lot worse. So, and Soto hasn't been healthy. It's just the reality. He hasn't been healthy. So people can judge the season on what they see, and I get it. It's not easy, but hey, I'm staying optimistic. Look, the Mets pitchers that they have right now, it's unbelievable. They have Bryce Conley, Daniel Duarte, Sean Manaea, Nolan McLean, Christian Scott, Kodai Senga, Robert Stock, Zach Thornton, and Devin Williams. That is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Robert Jr. is still on the team, though, folks. That is unbelievable. Oh, my gosh. Let me see anything else we got from John Heyman. Guardians acquire left-handed pitcher Foster Griffin. Where are the Yankees at? Where are the Yankees? Foster Griffin is from the Washington Nationals. Where are the Yankees at? Wow, the Nationals traded Foster Griffin to Cleveland. Yup, I just saw it. In 6 more starts, he could be DFA pitcher Thornton. You don't know. Don't put him 3 or 4. My entire team. Look, I'm sorry, man. You're not reading properly or you're not listening properly. It's just a reality. You're not. Possibly he could be a 3rd or 4th pitcher in a rotation. Possibly. Like, I'm not getting what you don't understand by that. Unbelievable, good or bad? What do you mean, Caden? You know what? Funny, Robert Stock, a journeyman who played in Mexico, Japan, and Korea. Griffin is a stud. Hey, any Tigers moves? I'm gonna have to check that out. I would have kept Weaver, traded Williams. Nobody wants Williams. Hell no. Who wants Devin Williams? Let me see there. What you saying about Freddie Peralta there? Let me know. Look, folks, 22 minutes and 35 seconds are left. 22 minutes. So the Minnesota Twins are acquiring reliever Jeff Hoffman. Wow. Yeah, Toronto is extremely excited. The guy that blew the World Series. And we got Howard with the Canada flags. What's going on, Howard? The man that absolutely blew the World Series for the Blue Jays is finally gone. Minnesota Twins acquire Jeff Hoffman. Oh my God. They needed to get him out of there ASAP. ASAP Rocky. They needed to get him out of there. Oh my goodness. I'm looking at the Yankees. Yeah, Yankee fans, like, if the Yankees don't do nothing in these 21 minutes, I'm looking at comments from Yankee fans, and they are pissed off with Brian Cashman. They are absolutely pissed off with him. I mean, they've had enough of Brian Cashman, all jokes aside. There's a post on DraftKings. The Dodgers will end 2026 with a $180 million luxury tax bill. The Dodgers luxury tax bill is larger than the total payroll of these teams: the Orioles, the Reds, the Guardians, the Rockies, the White Sox, Royals, the Angels, Marlins, Brewers, Twins, Athletics, Pirates, Mariners, Cardinals, Rays, and Nationals. That's unbelievable, bruh. In basketball news, the Philadelphia 76ers are finalizing a one-year veteran minimum deal with Kevin Love. I don't think that that's fake news, but it looks like Kevin Love is going to the Philadelphia 76ers. That's what it's looking like right there. Look, folks, we're getting to the ending of the trade deadline. We're getting there. We are getting there. Let me see here. Possibly is why Mets have no pitching today, because probably. Hey, we're going to see. Twins cooked. Opinions on the Cubs-Mets trade. Look, the Cubs are trying to win now. I like what the Cubs did. Did they get a bona fide stud pitching? No, they didn't. They didn't. But they got depth, and that's important in a playoff series. So they got depth. You know, let me see. Blue Jays was a fluke last year, like the 2024 Mets were. Bro, why did the Dodgers get Chris Bubic? They don't need him, bro. Unbelievable, good or bad. Let me see. Dodgers are the biggest reason for a cap, and the Mets are the biggest defense to it. It's true, Jake. I'm telling you, baseball's broken. I mean, look, I don't agree with that, man. Like, what the Yankees used to do when they three-peated in 2009, A.J. Burnett, CC Sabathia, Mark Teixeira, A-Rod, Derek Jeter, Hideki Matsui, Mariano Rivera, and the list goes on of who they had on that team. Baseball, look, do they have to change some things in the CBA? I agree. I am not mad at the Dodgers. That's just how I feel. You know what's funny? Robert Stock, a journeyman who played in Mexico and Japan and Korea. Hey, Robert Stock, yeah. I saw that there, Michael Cepeda. I'm not sure if it's sending that message. It keeps sending it. I'm not sure why it keeps sending that. I'm not sure if you've been posting it. Let me see if we got anything else. Look, 18 minutes, folks. 18 minutes. 18 minutes and counting. The trade deadline is almost there. This is not even close. I hate the Yankees. The Dodgers are worse. Look, the thing is that there's no rules against this, so I'm not mad at the Dodgers for it, you know? MLB has to do a better job with the CBA. Personally, I don't like the deferred money. They got to fix that. Cap, what? Put a cap of $300 million. I think that's fair. It's fair. But I was listening to Jeff Passan, and I will tell you all this. Listen carefully to what Jeff Passan said today. He said this today on ESPN. Jeff Passan said, some of these teams, Brewers, Rays, they could be spending more, but they choose not to spend more. So let that sink in right there. Jeff Passan said, some of these teams could be spending more, but why don't they spend more? Why not? I'll leave it to you. I'll leave it to all of you to react to it according. But in other words, I am not about to sit here and feel like, oh, it's over. It's the end. No, it's not. It ain't the end. It ain't the end, in my opinion. New York Alex, this is a joke. The Yankees got no one that can really help us. Look, 17 minutes, folks. 17 minutes. We are still looking at the trade deadline to see if anything else is about to go down. We're still looking, folks. So far, I'm not seeing anything else, though, from the Yankees. And I'm going to be honest with you. If this is all that they did, I'm telling you, people want Brian Cashman gone. People want Brian Cashman gone from the New York Yankees. How do you like Stern's move so far? Look, Michael, I like the moves. Tyrone Taylor, you have a chance to get him back. Clay Holmes, you may even have a chance to get him back because he's going to opt out of his deal. Luke Weaver, look. Luke Weaver, when the Yankees went to the World Series in 2024, he was phenomenal. What did he do in 2025? For all the Met fans begging for Luke Weaver, what did he do in 2025? Everybody has a bad season. I get it. But what did he do in 2025? Luke Weaver was unpitchable in 2025. Unpitchable. People forget about this. And for the Mets to get a prospect, a shortstop, where we don't know what he's going to turn into, but for them to get a prospect, I like it. Sammy, how do you feel about the Scooble trade? Look, Matthew, can I be honest? I wanted Scooble to go to the Brewers, the Rays, the Yankees. I didn't want him to go to the Dodgers. But I am not about to criticize the Dodgers for being proactive and making moves. I'm not. Are the Dodgers better three-peat? I am not going to sit here and say the Dodgers are going to three-peat. The Dodgers better three-peat. With the team that they have, they better three-peat. It's just as simple as that. I hope they don't. I don't want to see them three-peat, but they better three-peat. 14 minutes left. 14 minutes and counting, folks, for the trade deadline. The Dodgers are already stacked. They don't need it. I agree, Matthew. They don't need it, but I'm telling you, they're hungry. They're hungry. They want more, and I ain't mad at it. I am not mad at it. But, Michael, I'm happy with the Mets trades. We don't know how the prospects will turn out. We don't know. But we know that this team that we had, it just didn't work. It just didn't work. It just didn't. They're saying this Jefferson kid, the Mets got, is a stud. Hey, I believe he's in the top 100. We're going to have to see what he can do. And what I will say is also that I was going to say something else about him. Oh, after that bad karma of that trade for Baez and PCA, let's hope that the Cubs trading a stud to the Mets ends up working out in the Mets' favor. And what do you think, that there might be a shutdown next year? Look, I do think baseball will miss games next year. I do. But I don't think the whole season will be gone. Mets would hire Cashman in a minute. Maybe because of the name. Because of his name, maybe they would. But personally, I know Blue Jay fans, Toronto Blue Jay fans are celebrating because Hoffman is gone. I mean, he should have been gone a long time ago, but he's gone. Folks, under 14 minutes. Let's see. Jeff Passan doesn't have anything else updated. Padres are trying to land Nootbaar, Burleson, or Larnach to fill the lefty need. So the Padres, it doesn't look like Mason Miller's going anywhere. They are not selling. The Padres, they are not selling. They're going for it. They are going for it. Let us see, folks. But look, Oh boy, I'm telling you, a lot of things are about to start happening. Whew. Oh my goodness. Look, folks, all right, just to give you a heads up, it's 5:47. We're at that moment. The deadline's almost over. After this deadline, I am going to stay on till 6:15 p.m. about. Then I'm going to get off and change the title, and I'm going to react to David Stern's press conference. Word by word. I'm going to listen to David Stern's on my headphones, and I am going to listen to him and react to him and talk about what David Stearns has to say about. I don't understand. The Dodgers didn't need Bubic. They're being greedy at this point. More deals will come between 6 and 6:05. All right, Dad, 100%. Those deals that just got in on the last minutes, 100%. But hey, folks, look, 12 minutes. 12 minutes. What is about to go down? What else is about to go down? Go get Goodman. Give up everyone for him. George, are you talking about the Yankees? I mean, your Brian Cashman. This is a disaster. You need a catcher and second base. What is he doing? I don't know. The Mets should be done. Everyone's gone. I'm telling you, everyone. By the way, Brewers miss Stearns. Don't think so. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think that they don't. David Stearns wasn't the reason of the Brewers' success. We see the proof of that now. Hey, folks, I'm keeping an eye on John Heyman right now. I'm keeping an eye. Nothing from John Heyman. Nothing new from Jeff Passan. Let me take a quick look real fast so that we can keep you all updated on what's going on with the trade deadline. Don't forget, folks, like, share, subscribe, comment. Continue to help this channel to grow. And on YouTube, we have a poll. Are you happy with your team's moves? 67% are saying very happy. 33%, I am frustrated with my team. And I believe that there's a lot of frustration with the Yankees. A lot of frustration with the Yankees. A lot with what they have done and haven't done. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to see how everything pans out. Excuse me. We are going to have to see how it all pans out. We need to get Goodman, give them Alvey or two top prospect. Oh, you're talking about the Mets getting Goodman. Only hope is Tyler Stephenson from Cincinnati. I don't think Goodman is on the table. Yeah. I would be open trading one of the catchers. Yankees can take Alvarez for a top 15 prospect. Okay. I don't think Colorado wants to sell Goodman. Yeah, me neither. They are selling, but they want top players. We as Met fans don't care about the Yankees. Red Sox cooked low key. They did. They swept the Dodgers, and they didn't relax. They didn't chill out. They said we need more. We need more. We need more. Look, folks, I'm checking Jeff Passan. We're under 10 minutes. We're under the 10-minute mark. Nothing from Jeff Passan. Lars Nootbaar to the D-backs. Lars Nootbaar from John Heyman. He is going to the D-backs. And John Heyman, yes, he is. George Castillo was the first to let us know it. Yup, the Diamondbacks are acquiring Lars Nootbaar from the Cardinals. Hey, I really like when people do that. Like John Heyman, he's not taking credit for it. He's putting who announced it first. So, you know, that's pretty cool, refreshing to see. Let me see if we got anything else for the New York Mets, because what a day it's been, folks. What a day it's been. What an unbelievable, what an unbelievable trade deadline. I mean, there is just a ton of trades going on. An absolute massive. To complete the deal with the Pirates, the Mets are taking on $2 million of Weaver's contract this year and $6 million next year. Yeah, see, those are the things that I don't like. I don't like those type of things. Damn, the Mets have a lot to do this offseason for real. They let a lot of really good players go to today, I'm really surprised they didn't keep Weaver. He loved being here, and he had 2 more years left. He only had 1 more year. They signed him to a 2-year deal. Yankees not doing any. Okay, Boston winning it all. Nah, I want Lombard for Albie. It's a young cat. Okay. Yeah, Yankees wilding. According to John, Arson Judge in San Francisco. Wait, what? According to John Herman, Arson Judge is going to San Francisco. Who's even that? So see more dead money. Yeah, I don't like the dead money thing. I don't like that. That's why I'm pissed about paying more dead money for players not here. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. To pay him $6 million to go, I don't like that. Yankees would rather let their players walk away instead of trading them for something. Yeah, making bank. I don't know what's going on. Look, 7 minutes, folks. 7 minutes and counting. Let's see if we got anything else from John Heyman. Do we got anything else from Jeff Passan? Nothing else from the two of them. Let me check George Castillo. George Castillo, yeah, he just reports that the Diamondbacks are acquiring Lars Nootbaar from the Cardinals. Sources to tell me. Man, I'm telling you, I need to get these sources, man. I need to start contacting these people, and I need my sources, man. Guess we stuck with Robert Jr. Damn, yeah. But look, okay, with Robert Jr., do we have, do the Mets have, what you call it? Do they have, the Mets have the option. It's not him that has the option, right? Because if it's him with the option, chill. Robert Jr. contract. Let me see the option. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. 2027 is a club option. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Include a $20 million club option with a $2 million buyout. All right. So look, I understand that. Yeah, team option. Okay, team option, 2 years, $40 million. For who? My entire team. 2 years, $40 million for who? You talking about Luis Robert Jr.? Because the Mets will decide if they want. Let me see here, folks. Let's check John Heyman real fast. Anything else? Nothing else so far. I know some other trades are gonna come. We're at that 5-minute mark though, folks. We're getting to that 5-minute mark right now, folks, where we're about to find out what is gonna go down with what is gonna go down with any other trades. And look, what is going on with the New York Yankees, man? I get it. They got the guy from the Nationals, Luis Garcia. They got from the Giants, but that's it, man. Mets calling up Jeffrey Van. They are, and I'm telling you, this guy, I've been hearing some good things about him. We're stuck with Jorge Polanco and Marcus Semien is a real concern. Jared, look, it's not a real concern, man. Like, what they've been doing, Steve Cohen has been able to pay. Okay. Now, we're going to see about a lot about these young players, man. We're going to see. It's just as simple as that, man. Mets calling up Jeffrey Van. Yep, it looks like they're not even going to compete in 2027. They better. If the Mets, look, when I say compete, if the Mets are another garbage dumpster fire, Stearns got to go. When I say compete, I mean they need to be a respectable team. Is it too much to ask for the 2027 Mets to be a 500 team? Is that too much to ask? It's not. They better. If they're another 20 game on the 500 team, then they're gonna go. We need to find a way to get rid of Polanco and Semien. Polanco, I agree. Polanco is just horrible. Yeah, Polanco deal is horrible. Mets calling. Yeah, I did see that about his celebrations are just next level. Let me see there. I don't see it yet I don't see the breaking, like him being called up. We're just hoping to get a top 30 prospect in someone's team for Robert Jr. I agree. Let's see. Cleveland just got Foster Griffin from Washington. Wasn't he an all-star? Got a good person there. 2027 Mets won't happen. Thank you, LA. Nah, I'm telling you that the whole season is not going to be canceled. I don't believe that. All right, folks, 3 minutes and 10 seconds. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's see if John Heyman got anything else. Nothing else from John Heyman. Okay, the Cleveland Guardians are acquiring Nathaniel Lowe in a trade with the Cincinnati Reds. So the Cleveland Guardians are getting a little bit better. All right. Let me see what else we got here. That was from Jeff Passan. Let's see if we got anything there. Nope. John Heyman has been a little quiet for now. Nothing else. We just got that from Jeff Passan right there. Hey, folks, I'm telling you, folks. 2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting. Ben Rover is back. Dodgers three-peat, bro. Wow, Cleveland going for it. Huh? They are. They're definitely going for it. What's your favorite pick for the Mets? Look, the two prospects they got for the Luke Weaver deal, Sammy, because he has my name. Nah, I'm messing, but he's from New York. He said, I am going to give the Mets everything I have. I like to hear that as a fan. And the person that the Mets got from the Cubs, the Mets gave up a lot. Giving up Clay Holmes and Taylor, they gave up a lot. And they got the number, 65 prospect in baseball out of the top 100, the number 2 for the Cubs. So that's a big deal right there. So I like those two picks that the Mets got. Let me see what else. Look, folks, I'm going to keep my eye right there on John Heyman. I got to keep my eye on John Heyman. And, Jorge Castillo, nothing else. Let's see if Jeff Passan has anything else. Okay, the Miami Marlins, 46 seconds ago, are acquiring right-handed reliever Victor Vodnik from the Colorado Rockies for infielder Connor Norby and right-hander Aiden May. All right, so the Miami Marlins, they are getting Victor Vodnik. Let me see if we got anything else. Look, folks, we're at the 1 minute and 10 second mark. 1 minute and 10 second mark. I know that some trades will come out a little later, but we're going to see. All things considered, Mets have definitely retooled the farm system. 100%. 100%. And some of these prospects are expected to come up next year. So I'm excited to see that. We're going to have to see how that's going to work out. And we're going to see some more Mets prospects come out this year. 40 seconds, folks. 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Clay Holmes can be a versatile impact addition to the Cubs playoff staff, while Mets get a very good prospect. Let's see here. Mets in 2027 from Ryan Rogg. What about them? We got somebody here with the 86 Mets logo. 86 Mets. Hey, shout out to you. Look, I'm really happy we got a lot of Met fans in here. I'm really happy about that. Let me check. All right, folks. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it is now 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The trade deadline, it is officially finished. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to find out some trades. We're going to still find out some other trades that are happening last minute. I'm taking a look. Yep, John Heyman again. And Jeff Passan confirmed it first. Nathaniel Lowe to the Guardians. Let's see if we got anything else from Jorge Castillo. Nothing. Jeff Passan. So far, nothing. So, look, I am going to give about 5 minutes or so to see any other trades that just took a little bit of time. And then I'm going to go on reacting. And the first team I'm going to go with is the Yankees. Then I'm going to talk about the Mets. Can the guy we got from the Cubs play anywhere else? Ryan Rogg, look, from what I know now, third base and shortstop. But in today's MLB, I'm telling you, you are sometimes being put where, what does a team need? If you want a spot, you're going to have to play at a position. And look at Brett Baty. Brett Baty hasn't been good, but for crying out, they've put Brett Baty at third base. They've put him at second base, at first base. They've put him in right field. I mean, it is an absolute joke what they've done. But, no Peter Perez. Clay Holmes is gone. Clay Holmes is officially no longer a New York Met. Let's see here. How's that for run prevention? Ryan Rogg. An absolute joke. David Stearns better put out a product in 2027. That's all I got to say. 2027 better be a better year. If it's not, David Stearns has got to go. And it's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. He is going to have to go. Let me see here if we got any other trades. All right. Let me take some water here really fast. The Pittsburgh Pirates are acquiring right-handed reliever Lake Bakar from the Miami Marlins. That's from Jeff Passan. Jorge Castillo. The Dodgers are acquiring Hunter Fiducia from the Rays. Hunter Fiducia. Let's see if John Heyman has anything else for us. Casey Miz to the Padres. Casey Miz is going to the Padres. Yankees starting pitching and bullpen is fine. They need hitters. Didn't get much. I agree. 100% agree with that. Yes, Yankees starters are fine. They traded away Camilo Duval, so that's a big win for them. But they needed to get at least another bat. Bring back Omar from Peter Perez. Which Omar? Omar who? Omar Minaya? You talking about Omar Minaya from the Mets? Let us know. All right, folks. Let me give a few more minutes, and we're gonna react to everything that happened because, geez, a lot of trades happened in these last moments. I mean, a ton of trades have happened, and I'm gonna have to even do a video tomorrow just breaking down every other trade that has happened because there is a ton of trades. Sometimes before all of these trades become official, you are going to have to wait for the medicals to be cleared and all of that. So we're going to have to see. Let me see. John Heyman has nothing else. Let's see if Jeff Passan with the San Diego Padres with a buzzer beater. They're acquiring right-hander Casey Miz from the Detroit Tigers. All right. That's from Jeff Passan. Let's see anything else we got. So far, I'm not seeing anything else. Peter says, bring back Omar Minaya. Wow. Omar Minaya. Unbelievable. Let me see here, folks. All right. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen there. And then we are going to go with that. Let us see here really fast. I am going to give it, let's give it to 607. It's 604. I'm going to give it to 607. Or better, 606. Let me just give that 1 minute. And about 1 minute left, and then I'm gonna react to what a team did do quick and what a team didn't do, because some teams, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see, and I'm excited to do a video about the Mets. The Mets trade pretty much everybody. Mets trade everybody. I am very, very much excited to do a video about that. I want to hear what David Stearns has to say. And I'm going to also talk about it and see, let me see there. Nothing else from Jeff Passan. John Heyman says, Yankees did nothing beyond what's been reported. I'm going to respond to that. That's the first thing I'm going to respond to. Okay, look. Jared, I'm telling you, the Padres. All right, look. I'm going to talk really fast about the Yankees. Talk quickly about the... I'm not going to talk about the Mets now. I'm going to talk about the Yankees right now. Then I'm going to be back talking about the Mets. Okay, look. The Yankees. So the Yankees, from my knowledge, they make 3 trades. They trade away Camilo Duval. That's a good one because Camilo Duval, from my knowledge, he was struggling mightily for the Yankees. So that's a good trade right there. They trade away Camilo Duval. I don't even know who they got. This bat will help. The Yankees get Luis Garcia Jr. from the Nationals. First baseman, he leads the NL in slugging with Yankee Stadium right porch, that is absolutely massive right there. It's big. But first baseman, now you have 3 first basemen. Is Ben Rice just going to be your DH? How are they going to work that out? That's the only thing. Giancarlo Stanton. Are they going to put Ben Rice to be the catcher? Because Ben Rice played catcher before. Are they going to put Ben Rice to be the catcher? Which I don't know why it makes me feel like they're going to do that. Serious. Because, okay, if Stanton comes back, where does Stanton play? He's a DH. Okay, so you got Luis Garcia Jr. Did you get him to be a full-time starter? You better have. You got Ben Rice. So I'm a little confused about what were the Yankees trying to do with that. But the more pressing matter, why didn't the Yankees do something for the catcher position? I mean, okay, Marlins trade. I already spoke about the Adley Rutschman trade. Let me see. Marlins trade Liam Hicks. They traded him to the Rays as well. The Rays, okay, let me see this real fast. The Rays trade infielder Braden Taylor, Jacob Kissling, and Adrian Santana. The Rays gave up 3 of their top 30 prospects. Number 16, number 26, and number 27. Why wouldn't the Yankees do that when they needed a catcher? Are the Yankees going to put their trust in the playoffs with Austin Wells? That's not intelligent, in my opinion. Are the Yankees going to put their trust in, Sanchez for the playoffs? It's not intelligent. So I don't understand why the Yankees didn't do more. Michael, that's not a buzzer beater there. They didn't. That trade was reported a while ago. I reported that trade. But the Yankees, they don't get a catcher. And now you got 3 first basemen, Luis Garcia Jr. I think he should be a full-time starter. So what about Ben Rice? Is he your DH? What about when Stanton comes back? What about Judge comes back? What are they gonna do there? That's my question. What are the Yankees gonna do there? Because that's a little weird. You got 3 first basemen. You don't have a catcher. Are you gonna put Ben Rice back at catcher? All right, but I mean, I don't understand. I'm a little confused. But I guess we're gonna have to see how it works out. But I know personally, Yankee fans are absolutely pissed. Yankee fans are frustrated that they did not do more. Can we blame them? Casey Miz. Yep, I saw Casey Miz at the Padres. They should have went after Langolier from Jason. He was unfortunately out for the year, so because adding a new catcher at this point is also not the smart either. Cashman is a bobo. I mean, look, Austin Wells is hitting like 140. He's hitting 140, 150. All right. Okay, that's fine. You know, they have the new catcher, Sanchez. He's been okay, but I don't think he's ever been in the playoffs. So, okay, you know, I get it. A catcher and a pitcher have to have the same chemistry, but the Rays got a new catcher in the division. The Red Sox got a new catcher, so, you know. You think the Phillies take it today? Who the Phillies play? Mr. Mad Main. D-backs. They play, but their staff is doing great with those catchers. Not with Austin Wells, they're not doing great with Austin Wells. No chance are they doing great with Austin Wells. No chance at all. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else from John Heyman. I'm not seeing anything else. Okay, the full deal. The Rays send catcher Hunter Ferucia and right-hander Jacob K-Mass to the Dodgers. Outfielder Jacob Sawinski and international bonus money. All right, the Dodgers. Yup, that's that from Jorge Castillo. Let's see if Jeff Passan has anything else. No. Look, could any other trade have came out? Yes, it is possible. But for now, what we have reported, that's it right now. Wells is a really good receiver. Look, all right. I've heard that. Wells is a good framer. Okay, I mean, fine. But look, if the Yankees are fine with that position being a 180, 150 hitter, by all means. But I thought they needed to get a catcher that, get a Liam Hicks. And then if you want to put Austin Wells in to close out the game defensively, all right. But I thought Yankees would add more and a reliever, but they should do well versus the Cards. Yeah, I agree. Greatness inventory. Yankees always beat the teams that they're supposed to beat. But when they play the better teams, it's a little bit tougher for them. But, hey, we're going to see what happens in that, folks. They needed a backup catcher. They traded everyone, they said, but they will, but Luis Robert Jr. Yeah, Luis Robert Jr., it must have been a hard one to officially get rid of him. All right, folks, look, I am going to get off of the live stream now, and I'm going to prepare myself because I'm going to do a live stream after this just about the Mets. I want to do a live stream just about the Mets, just talking about the Mets. So I'm going to need a little bit of time to prepare myself and get myself ready. You already know, everybody. Thank you all for the support. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. We are now up to 889 subscribers. I ask all of you to subscribe. I would love to reach 900. We weren't able to reach the 1K yet, but we are pushing for the 1K. And yeah, look, folks, I 100% ask all of you for help. Go to my YouTube channel at Higher Expectation Sports. Like, share, subscribe, and continue to help the channel to grow. All right, folks, I am going to be back in a few. I'll be back very soon doing a live just talking about the Mets. Just talking about them and talking about everything they did. And I'm going to hear what David Stearns has to say first. And then I am going to react according. Thank you all for the support. See